Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Live from multiple locations via the miracle of Skype, it's the LTN Hour. Let's talk NASCAR with your host, Todd Bailing. Featuring Dangerous Dan Margetta and Brian Schmidt. LTN is a caller-driven program, and your participation is encouraged by calling 414-421-7901. That's 414-421-7901. Now, the creator and host of the fastest hour in radio, Todd Bailing.
It's strange already, folks. Trust me. Just to go through that intro and not hear Ed's name. Thanks for joining us. Todd Bailing coming to you from the scoring tower at Dells Raceway Park, where we are graciously allowed to do this program by track promoter and owner Jerry Albee, joined by my two co-hosts, starting with Dan Margetta, longest tenured from St. Francis, Wisconsin. Morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
And Brian Schmidt of Wootsburg, Wisconsin.
Morning. Good morning.
We are obviously talking about our departed friend and longtime co-host and part of this program, Ed Kaluka, who passed away 1 week ago today in a just absolute ironic twist of fate. I was the last one to see Ed alive. Kathy, his daughter, told me where he was, and we knew he was in bad shape the last couple of weeks. As you guys noticed, we didn't have him on the program, and I went and saw him, and he was 3 hours from death when I saw him. So I talked to him a little bit, but I didn't get much of an answer. I can tell you he was ready. He led a long, fruitful, wonderful life and died at 84 years old. That, you know, in the big picture, that's a long, wonderful life. Let's face it. He is survived by his wife, Susie, son Scott, and daughter Kathleen. Of course, his other son, Michael, passed away, and that was really, really where Ed, I think, took a turn, which happens sometimes as you're aging and you lose. It happened to my parents when my younger brother died. Also, he has a granddaughter, Samantha, a son, Matthew, and a great-granddaughter, Hazel. And they're all alive and well, and our friend Ed is no longer with us. Ed was a caller to this program. I started doing it all by myself back on the old WAUK in Waukesha. I didn't know what I was doing, but apparently we had a pretty good audience for whatever the hell I'm talking about. And Ed, after not a very long time, he became a caller. He was a caller to the program, and he would call me with things, and they were always good. Ed, you know, Ed, that was and after some time, you know, he would call me during the week, and we would talk about things, so I was better prepared to do the program when it came on Sunday. And I didn't really realize right away that he was the crew chief for Al Schill when I started a year later at Slinger Speedway, and Al was winning championships at Slinger with Ed Kaluka in the pits. And they were a team for, I think, 3 or 4 of Al's 5 championships at Slinger in the Super Late. And the time came after, and I don't remember the exact time, 3 or 4 years, 2 or 3 years, in there somewhere, where I just decided that rather than do it the way I was doing it with Ed and having him call me off the air and talk to me as a caller, it was time to make him a partner in the program. He jumped at the opportunity, and we became Todd and Eddie. And We had not just Let's Talk NASCAR. That was when we syndicated in '92. We also had the Todd and Eddie show, which was a local version of LTN. But it's been a wonderful journey with Ed. I can't tell you that it's always been perfect. I'd be lying to you if I tried to tell you that. For those of you who listen on the internet, either on our Facebook page or on our YouTube channel, there were some pretty tense moments. It was just the way we operated. We didn't hate each other, even though that would be a hard sell for some of you to believe that. It was just a difficult time. When we were getting ready for the show, Ed, his nuts were in a vice, and as you get closer, he'd be going, "Hey, what about this? What about that? What?" Ed, relax a little bit, Doing live versions of this program was even worse. Oh, good God, the tension was terrible. But, as I always told him, it don't matter what you call me or what you think of me. When the light goes on, we're changing the way we're doing business, and we're radio guys. And we always had that attitude, or 99% of the time had that attitude. We will obviously miss Ed Kluka on this program. The whole dynamic of the program is going to change. But I am very fortunate to have two partners on air with me that are very capable, and I'm very thankful that they're with me. Not just did we lose Dan here. I mean, did we lose Ed? But Dan is going through chemotherapy right now. And next, I should say to Dan, you've told me already, but please tell everybody how everything's going with you.
Real good so far. I mean, we're halfway through it, and the last time around, everything was pretty much almost gone. And I mean, they were talking about doing tests and maybe not having to do any more. So maybe one more round and not the 6 it was supposed to be. So that's all going real well. I mean, I've always from the start of that, I'm going to beat this. I mean, that's nothing.
Dan, what did you think when you first got in with Ed and myself and sat down and saw the dynamic that we were, not just on the air but off the air?
It was interesting. I mean, it was kind of that's when you start thinking back about how long it's been and how much we've all been through. And that, I mean, I wrote a letter for my college course as a project that we had to write to a media outlet, and I wrote to this NASCAR show I listened to, and you guys answered it, and that's how I kind of got involved. And early on, I mean, it took a while to really get to know Ed. I mean, he talked to you, but he wouldn't really talk to you until you kind of proved you were kind of a racer. I think that's what did it. When he finally found out that, yeah, I'm like you, man. I go to every races I can, and I live this stuff as well. And then ever since then, it was, I mean, so many doors opened up. I don't think I would have met a lot of people in NASCAR or in racing if it wasn't for Ed Kluka. I mean, a lot of it was just me tagging along, getting introduced from Ed. I mean, we picked up Kenny Schrader and Dick Trickle from the airport in Madison one time in Ed's van, and there wasn't enough seats for me, so I sat in the back on race wheels, and while they were in the seats, and they were taking corners fast and dumping me over. Every time we go to a corner, I get dumped over, and then I looked up, and they were doing it on purpose. They were laughing, and I think I was like, 20 years old at the time, and I look back at that, and like, how cool is something like that, to just be in that car with all those people that were, Trickle and Schrader and Ed and that, and it was just fun. You start thinking all those things that we've gone through for so long and how much has gone on. You really can't put it all into words,
He sure knew a lot of people. Brian, when you came on board, of course, we were established by then. You're the new guy on the block, and I'm just curious. When you heard us on the air all the time, but when you actually got to hear us one-on-one, what went through your head?
Wow. That's what I always thought, Yeah, I mean, it was interesting. Everybody, but when you have that kind of passion, that's what makes it good. And that's kind of what I thought, when you have people that have that kind of passion. I'm thinking back to the first time I met Ed, and I think it was back in 2010, the first Xfinity race at Road America. I happened to run. I think I was already helping you guys out. I don't know how much I was a part of the program back then, but I remember sitting on the picnic table at Road America there, and then he walked up, and then that's when we got to start talking back and forth. And I think that was the first time I met him. But yeah, he was a character. He was an interesting character, and he dug in deep when he had an opinion, and you either liked that opinion or you didn't. And if you didn't, he told you why.
Yeah, and he certainly didn't have much tolerance for people that disagreed with him, but it sure made for a great radio dynamic, that's for sure. Ed and I came from different parts of the universe. Brian?
Hey, Brian, why don't you tell the story about the first time you met Johnny Sauter and how Ed kind of pushed you to go over and actually talk to him?
Yeah, that was back in I think 2016. It was the same day that Russ Scheffler passed away, and I don't know. I was in the garage area by myself at the Chicagoland, and Ed had called me and said he wanted me to tell Johnny something. I'm like, I've never met Johnny Sauter. He's like, go over there and talk to him. I'm not hanging up the phone until you get by him. So I'm like, whatever. So I'm on the phone and I'm walking over there by him, and Ed goes, where is he? I go, he's standing right in front of me. All right, I'm going to hang up, but you better talk to him. And then I did, and Johnny was really cool about it, and I said, Ed Kluka told me to come over here and talk to you, and Johnny was really cool about it. He's like, oh, now I know who the guy is that I was talking about it. But that's how Ed was. He was not going to hang up the phone until I went over there and approached him. Which is cool because now Johnny's like, now he talks to me like he's known me forever. So, I mean, I'll forever be grateful for how Ed, pushed me to do that.
He certainly was great meeting people for the first time, and the dynamic that they and people remember Ed Kluka too, no doubt. We're gonna take a break and be back.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship-winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company, in the heart of Wisconsin, is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at wagnerautomotive.com.
Buckle up, get ready, get set, and get your tickets now as the NASCAR Xfinity Series returns to Wisconsin's Road America in Elkhart Lake, July 27th through the 29th. The smell of fresh rubber and food will fill the air for this weekend, along with the Porsche Carrera Cup for even more racing fun. An amazing, affordable weekend of family fun with camping, food, and more. Kids 16 and under get in free with paid adult. Come for the experience, stay for the race. Get your tickets today at roadamerica.com. Your national park of speed.
The summer heat is on, and PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
After losing Saturday, the Milwaukee Admirals trailed the best-of-7 series to Coachella Valley 3-2. Sherwood had busted a stick right down Evangelista. Up, Sherwood scored! Must-win game for the Admirals Monday in Palm Desert, California. 3-game coverage at 8:30, face-off at 9 on the Big 920 and your iHeartRadio app.
Welcome back to the program. It's going to sound a little different here without Ed Kluka, who passed away this week. We are joined by Ed's youngest of his 3 kids, Kathy. I hate to call you a kid, Kathy, because you're a grandmother, which is doesn't really add up. I always thought that your oldest brother, Scott, was absolutely a chip off of your dad, that your brother, Michael, was just absolutely your mom up one side and down the other, and you have the qualities of both in there, and you, I think you got it, kid. You got all of it, and welcome. We're nice to have you.
Well, thanks for having me. I would say that I have more of my dad in me than I would like at sometimes, but sometimes it's a good thing. So
it's absolutely a good thing. Well, you're in the sales business, right?
Well, yeah, I'm semi-retired, but yeah, I've done real estate for the past 15 years. And I really did enjoy it when I was in it fully, but now I would rather be babysitting for my granddaughter or up north at our lake home. And I'm very fortunate. But I really just wanted to thank everybody that reached out to us, my mom and myself, and I really want to thank Dan Margetta for doing an awesome job writing the obituary. I couldn't have done it. The job that he did was excellent, and it's a loss for sure. But like you said, he lived 84 years. He had a great life, and he went out how he wanted to. I would have hated to have seen him go into like a nursing home or, he was in the hospital for 4 days.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
When you save on auto insurance for driving safe with USAA Safe Pilot, you'll feel like a big deal, even in a traffic jam. Save up to 30% with USAA Safe Pilot. Restrictions apply.
Yeah. And Kathy's Hospice in West Bend took awesome care of him. And, yeah, I told him on Sunday, I said, Dad, if you don't hurry up and go, Todd's going to be here and going to end up being the last one to see you. So you better, because he didn't want anybody to come and visit him. And sure as shit, that's what happened. Todd was the last one to see him before he
amazing, isn't it? You know, how funny that works out. It's amazing to me that your mother, we've seen and heard your dad at his best and his worst. Your mother made it 60 years with your dad. She gets a big gold star, I got to tell you. Being with him 24/7 couldn't have been the easiest thing, and yet they were really good together.
Yeah, they were. I mean, she was calm. He was, he was Eddie.
Yeah.
So anybody that knows my dad knows that, he's going to do things his way, no matter what it was, whether it's cleaning a toilet or building an engine. He's going to do it his way, and nobody can do it as good as him. So that was
and if you did it a different way, I can't begin to tell you what you heard.
Oh, I know. His last words he ever spoke were, Kath, I guess I can't say that on the show, but
Yeah. She said,
Which
he
is
asked
so
Kathy to
fitting
go get his clothes so he could leave the hospice, and she said, well, I will, Dad.
Yeah. Yeah, until the day he passed, that night he called me, he's like, okay, you don't need, he's like, I'll stay here, because I said, Dad, you can't leave. He wanted to leave. I said, if you want to leave, get up out of the bed and let's go. He's like, yeah, I can't do that. And, finally the last morning, he's like, okay, I know I have to stay here. I'm having some chest pains, but could you still bring my clothes? Like, okay, Dad, I'll bring your clothes.
Just in
and
case.
I did. And yeah. But like you said, this show will not be the same without him. It just won't. No. You're going to have to find someone else that knew as much as he did. I don't know if that person's out there. He knew so many people.
And as many people as he knew, my God. It was he had so many involvements in the racing business, selling pieces and parts, and that was only part of it, because the other part being radio, he got to know. I mean, everybody knew who he was that didn't know before. And, talk about a Rolodex. It was pretty amazing. Kathy, we love you. Please hug and kiss your mom for all of us. She's a very special lady. Is there going to be any sort of funeral whatsoever?
My mom just didn't want anything. He is going to be laid to rest in West Bend at the Washington County Memorial. And he is in a crypt because, he said when you die, you're dead. But on the other hand, he did not want to go in the ground, and he didn't want to be cremated, so he's going to be in a crypt and laid to rest. I'm not sure when. They were really busy. So
it's a private ceremony, right?
Private ceremony, and then we just do a memorial later down the road. I know they're doing at Slinger the 25th of June, the memorial race. So, maybe that'll be it. I don't know. I really don't know at this time. My mom just wanted something. And I know that something else should be done because of all the people that he knew. but right now I don't know what's going to happen.
Well, we will have it on this program, and it'll be posted on Facebook, and people will know if they want to come pay their last respects. Kathy, thanks for being on. I know it's a tough time for the whole family. And again, we love you, and you take care of yourself and your mom.
All right, will do. Thanks so much, guys.
Okay. Kathleen Kluka, Ed's youngest of his three. We're glad you tuned in. This is a kind of an odd show. I realize we haven't talked much NASCAR yet. Cole Custer won the Xfinity race yesterday at Portland. Sam Mayer was third, and a pretty damn impressive run for that young man. By the way, there were 2 Xfinity races since we did this program last. There was one after the World 600 last Monday. Monday night at 11 o'clock, Justin Allgaier won the Xfinity race at Charlotte. Yesterday they ran trucks at the Gateway. Well, it's Gateway. It's Madison, Illinois, and the real name for the track is Worldwide Technology Raceway. I'm not kidding you. That's the real name for the track. And it was Grant Enfinger after Ty Majeski washed up into Zane Smith on the second from last lap, and those 2 cars crashed, and Enfinger went on to win it. We are coming to you live from Dell's Raceway Park, or at least I am. The boys are home. We're going to sneak away for a break, and we're going to come back with another special guest.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit BonafideSafe.com.
Miller Sales and Service is the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer for customer service and satisfaction. Serving the area since 1939, Miller's is located on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. As the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer, Miller's has all kinds of Bravo trailers from 8 feet to 48 feet in stock. They also have a selection of B&B utility and dump trailers, reliable and Chilton open aluminum and steel trailers. With over 50 pre-owned low-mileage cars, trucks, and SUVs, Miller's has just the vehicle you are looking for. Miller's also carries a full line of Alumacraft boats and Manitou pontoon boats, complete with Evinrude outboards. Why not buy from racers who know what racers want and need? With Miller's Sales and Service on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. Call Jerry, Tom, or Brad Miller today at 920-994-4358. That's Miller's Sales and Service, 920-994-4358.
The tradition, the dirt, the thrills. Let's go racing! Plymouth Dirt Track Racing. This Saturday night, the action is back at the Sheboygan County Fairgrounds. It's a full racing program featuring 360 sprints, late models, Grand Nationals, and B-Mods. Gates open at 4:30, opening ceremonies at 6. Plymouth Dirt Track Racing. Details at PlymouthDTR.com.
The NASCAR Cup Series.
Off turn 4, green flag goes in the air.
Back at Worldwide Technology Raceway for another year.
Trouble, turn 4, Stenhouse gets clipped by Eric Jones.
Of racing in the shadows of the Gateway Arch.
Take the check to the bank. $1 million. Kyle Larson has won.
It's the Enjoy Illinois 300 presented by TicketSmarter.
Sunday coverage starts at 1:30 on the Big 920 in your iHeartRadio app.
Welcome back to LTN. If you were listening to this program just about a month ago, it was April 30th, we had the subject had come up about Jared Urban, who had been racing, and that was Ernie's son, who's taken over the reins there, and he's got a racing career that Ernie's helping him with. And Ed was with us, and Ed did things his own way, whether we liked it or not. So here we are on the program talking about Jared Urban, and Ed takes his cell phone out while we're on and dials Ernie Urban's number up, and you can hear Ernie on speaker talking to Ed. And I'm going, wow, hang on. Well, let's call him and do this right. Well, he was on with us. That's kind of Ed's way. We do things, there's the right way, the wrong way, and there's Ed's way, and we did that Ed's way. And here we are just a little bit more than a month later, Ed is no longer with us, but Ernie Irvin is back with us from his home in Ocala, Florida. Ernie, welcome. Nice to have you.
Oh, thanks for having me.
You would get phone calls from Ed Kaluka once in a while, wouldn't you?
That was, it's very, they're very far and few between, but whenever he called you, it was like he talked to you last week. And it's like, and that was the type of friend he was, and he was just, he was always a good guy, and was always welcome to call me anytime.
Now, you met him when you raced up here at Madison and Slinger back in the Nationals years, in the 90s, that was.
Well, and the thing is, he also, if I remember, he had Bassett wheels. He was he was one that sold Bassett wheels. So, we did a lot of business with him, and we always tried to get free wheels.
Good luck with that.
We got some. Yeah, sometimes we got some, sometimes we didn't.
It's funny. You famously, I think, shared a beer or two with Ed at Madison. I think he spent the night at the same hotel you were at, and you guys went to a bowling alley, didn't you, or something? A bunch of people came along.
Yeah, I kind of recall some of it. There was obviously some drinking involved, and most of the time it would be like that after you did all the stuff you need to do, racing and, signing autographs or whatever it happened to be. And, sometimes you went bowling and actually had a few beers.
That's awesome. Well, you knew Ed like racers in general knew him, and that was a guy that was very knowledgeable, would help where he could, and would twist your arm to sell you something on a heartbeat.
Yeah, he would. And it's just so sad, just because, he just called me a month ago, and when you called me back and a couple of days ago and said that he had passed away, I was like, wow, just it happens. And it happens to bad people, not very often. It happens to good people all the time.
Seems that way, doesn't it? Ernie, how are you doing? How's your health, and how's Jared going?
We're doing really good. We're not able to race a lot. Jared's he's a flight instructor now, so he's building his career with that, and so we haven't been able to race much just because he can't get off flight instructor very often. So we don't know when we'll race again, but we got a little bit of damage to the car. We got to fix it up, and I'm not real fast at fixing it, so it'll happen.
It's wonderful talking to you, Ernie. You always have friends here at LTN, whether Ed is with us or not, and our best to you, and I hope to talk to you again down the line.
Okay, I appreciate it. And you got my number now, so
there we go.
A year or two, call me and we'll talk again. Whatever.
Great. Sounds great, Ernie. Thanks a lot, man.
Okay.
Talk to
Bye.
you. You bet. Bye. For just to be clear to everyone, Ed died of a heart issue. If you'll remember, back, Dan, you're probably better at years than I am, but it must have been it was before I had my heart issue.
1996.
96. Okay, that was 9 years before I had a heart issue. I had been we were at the Michigan racetrack in the garage area, and he told me, man, something isn't right. I said, what's the matter? He said, I just can't, I lose my breath right away. I got chest pain, and I'm going, well, for crying out loud, don't you think you ought to have it checked out? Yeah, sometimes I hate to, but, And he went in, and he had to have a heart valve replaced. And he had one of those mechanical valves afterwards. He said, it's really cool, man. You can listen to it. It goes click, 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 click. Yeah, he had to take Coumadin, which it's a blood thinner. Dick Trickle took Coumadin. I actually took it a couple of years ago. I had a blood clot, and I had to be hospitalized a couple days, and then I was on Coumadin for a while before they took me off of it, thank goodness. But it's a blood thinner, and as Ed aged, his blood, he started having a little bit of a internal bleed, and so they had to take care of that. They had to, as your heart function decreases, you get like water in the lung, You could hear gurgling when he would talk or sleep.
When he had his surgery, we actually did the radio show from the hospital when we brought all the equipment in.
He was so hell-bent on doing that from the hospital that Dan had to drag the equipment into his hospital room, and he did it with him. So
wasn't too happy about it, but we did the radio show there.
I want to take one quick call. We're due for a break, but Kevin is waiting to talk to us on line 1. Hi, Kevin. Pretty quickly, if we could.
Yeah, hey, Todd. And guys, I just want to pass along my sympathies to you. Quick story. Back in 2003, I think it was like the World of Wheels show at the State Park in Milwaukee. Matt Kenseth was supposed to, and Kenny Wallace were doing an autograph session. I think Dan remembers this. And this was like 45 minutes before the autograph session was supposed to start, and Matt wasn't there yet. So Ed's sitting at his table, and he calls up Matt, and he goes, "Matt, are you on your way?" He says, "For what?" He goes, "Do the autograph session." And Matt goes, "Ed, you said that was on Sunday, not Saturday." And he goes, "Matt, it's Saturday. There's a line of people waiting for you. Matt, you need to be here." He goes, "Ed, you said it was Sunday, not Saturday." And Ed starts sweating really bad. And he goes, "Matt, no, Matt, no." And next thing you know, Matt goes, "Yeah, I just pulled up to the back door. We'll be in there in 5 minutes."
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
We made USAA Insurance to help you save. Take advantage of discounts when you cover your home and your ride. Discover how we're helping members save at USAA.com/bundle. USAA. Restrictions apply.
That's just perfect. Thanks, Kevin.
Yeah, we'll see you later.
Kevin Ramsell, longtime friend of the program. We're going to sneak away for a break.
Buckle up, get ready, get set, and get your tickets now as the NASCAR Xfinity Series returns to Wisconsin's Road America in Elkhart Lake, July 27th through the 29th. The smell of fresh rubber and food will fill the air for this weekend, along with the Porsche Carrera Cup for even more racing fun. An amazing, affordable weekend of family fun with camping, food, and more. Kids 16 and under get in free with paid adult. Come for the experience, stay for the race. Get your tickets today at roadamerica.com. Your national park of speed.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
The tradition, the dirt, the thrills. Let's go racing! Plymouth Dirt Track Racing. This Saturday night, the action is back at the Sheboygan County Fairgrounds. It's a full racing program featuring 360 sprints, late models, Grand Nationals, and B-Mods. Gates open at 4:30, opening ceremonies at 6. Plymouth Dirt Track Racing. Details at PlymouthDTR.com.
This week on NASCAR Live, Austin Hill joined the show.
Each and every year, even from the truck days, I always seem to get into that round before the Final Four and always miss it by 2 or 3, 4 or 5 points. And so it's been a little frustrating there. So just trying to get that box checked to make it into that Final Four, and then anything can happen once you get to Phoenix.
There's much more waiting for you each week on NASCAR Live.
Every Tuesday night at 6 on the Big 920 and your iHeartRadio app.
Welcome back to LTN. I am joined by Johnny Sauter, who has had a busy and unbelievably eventful weekend. First of all, Johnny, it's nice to have you. I'm here at Dells Raceway Park overlooking the front stretch where you were just a few short hours ago, it seems like.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure. It's been an eventful weekend, to say the least. So just want to give a shout-out to the Kluka family and the Tillman family. It's been a crazy weekend.
Yeah, I wanted to have you talk a little bit about Kurt Tillman, a longtime late model racer who passed away not just suddenly, unexpectedly. He raced at Madison Friday night in the first of 250 lappers. And, of course, Johnny were you serving as his crew chief or what?
Yeah, I've been working with Kurt. He bought one of my cars, I guess it's been a year and a half ago, probably January of last year. So, I worked with him some last year, kind of on and off with setup stuff, and went and tested with him a couple times. And then this year he was like really, really wanting to go and run. And basically we agreed that he just wanted to go test some. And then, of course, Kurt was the ultimate racer. I mean, that guy was ate up with it. And it was awesome to be around somebody like that. You see people in the pits and you see them, but you don't really know them. And I feel like I really got to know Kurt pretty well, a lot, last year, and then this year was like every day talking on the phone and whatnot. So just amazing to be around that kind of passion, passion for racing, because, it made me think about things a little bit differently for sure. And he just somebody you could have a conversation with about anything. I mean, he had his priorities in the right place. So he's just a tragic deal. He got, he was hot after the first 50, and I said, "We're done, Kurt. We're pulling the pin." And he wasn't feeling well, and just didn't go well. So, man, that's a tough one to take for sure. I hate it for everybody involved, especially his wife and his children.
Yeah, 65 years old and still raced all the time, and just loved climbing through that window, didn't he?
I mean, it just. He was sitting in the car before the feature, and I said, "Kurt, go out there and have fun." And he goes, "Just remember, Johnny, it's the Kurt factor, and that's how he always described himself. You know what I mean? He's like, "You got the Kurt factor we're working with here." So he just, I don't know, the passion he had at 65 years old for racing is something that I know I won't have. You know what I mean? So it's cool to see.
Yeah. Well, quickly, your son has been doing pretty good. He raced Friday at Madison, last night here at the Dells. That was involved in I wasn't watching when he. I think he was involved in that front stretch deal, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was trying to pass Henze, Cohen Henze, and the Henze family is good friends of ours, and just they tangled and maybe got a little over impatient there with 2 to go coming to the light, and they made contact, and Henze spun, and then the wheels really fell off the wagon for the rest of the field and kept piling in and wrecking stuff. I hate that. I hate it for all the families and all their work and effort. It's just because it's a Bandolero doesn't mean it's not a lot of work and a lot of money. So we hate that. You know what I mean? It was fixing to be a good finish, and we just didn't get there.
Well, Penn certainly seems to be a chip off the old block, and his future looks pretty darn bright. Thanks for taking a few minutes to be with us. We do appreciate it, and we'll be keeping an eye on you, Johnny.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. Take care. Thanks for having us.
You bet. Johnny Sauter. There are things happening in the world of NASCAR, believe it or not, and what a week we just came out of. Who would have thought? First of all, Monday, late, we finished the Charlotte race, finally, and Ryan Blaney won his first race in, Dan, what was it? Long time anyway, right?
Half, I think. It's been a long time.
Yeah, a long time is right. During the race, some shenanigans go on. The always effervescent and lovable 11 car came and squeezed Chase Elliott up into the wall, and Chase... Some guys see red immediately. It depends probably who's on the inside of them, I think. But when Denny Hamlin squeezed that 9 car up into the wall, it was an intentional left turn, and both cars were wrecked bad. And of all things, NASCAR, what they didn't want to have to do is take the most popular driver that NASCAR has, who already had a waiver because he had got hurt early in the year, and he got suspended for one race. He won't be racing today. Unbelievable set of circumstances. His second waiver of the year. So, boy, oh boy, what a crazy thing. Corey LaJoie is going to drive the 9 car. Why exactly Corey LaJoie, probably because he passed that note to Rick Hendrick at the banquet saying, if you ever need a driver, I'm going to be available. So of all people, they put Carson.
Yeah,
I wonder what the logic was there, Dan.
I don't know, and Corey LaJoie is in there because Spire works hand in hand with Hendrick. I mean, they work together quite a bit, and he's driving the 7 car, so that they move him up into the 9 that way. I don't really have anything to do with that note. That's just a coincidence. A couple years ago, he did that. Hocevar is there because the Xfinity guys are out in Portland. They're pretty far away, so the truck guys are at Gateway, so he's able to get in the car that way. It's just kind of ironic that the guy that's going to get his Cup debut in this whole situation is one of the guys that right rears the most people anyways. I mean, he had a couple of incidents right now, and that's kind of what we're all in this because of a right rear situation where, Chase Elliott right rear Denny Hamlin. They had to suspend him. They did it to Bubba Wallace at Vegas last year, and the precedent's already set, and they have that data, that data that's available to everybody. Then that kind of did Chase in, I think, even though he wouldn't have, he never admitted it on the air he did it.
No. Yeah, Chase was at least smart enough to play poker in that deal. When they asked him about, was it intentional? He goes, well, no, those cars are hard to drive once you wreck them. I mean, everybody knew watching it what happened there, but unlike Denny Hamlin, who goes out and just says what he does, Chase is a pretty good poker player when it comes to that, and just said, yeah, I had nothing to do with that. But and then a lot of people are wondering why maybe Josh Berry, because Josh Berry has been the Hendrick sub, all season long. Every time either Chase is out or Bowman is out or whatever, but the way the logistics work with the Xfinity Series being so far away, you couldn't feasibly get an airplane from Portland, Oregon to St. Louis in enough time for Barry to practice and qualify the car and then go back and forth like that. So that's the main reason why. Otherwise, if they were a companion event, Josh Berry would have probably been in the car.
Yeah, there you go. So Corey LaJoie gets his dream job. And then he smacked the wall in qualifying?
Yeah, the most ironic part of it all is Carson Hocevar out-qualified Corey LaJoie today.
Unbelievable. We'll take a break, come back with some results.
Miller Sales and Service is the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer for customer service and satisfaction. Serving the area since 1939, Miller's is located on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. As the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer, Miller's has all kinds of Bravo trailers from 8 feet to 48 feet in stock. They also have a selection of B&B utility and dump trailers, reliable and Chilton open aluminum and steel trailers. With over 50 pre-owned low-mileage cars, trucks, and SUVs, Miller's has just the vehicle you are looking for. Miller's also carries a full line of Alumacraft boats and Manitou pontoon boats, complete with Evinrude outboards. Why not buy from racers who know what racers want and need? With Miller's Sales and Service on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. Call Jerry, Tom, or Brad Miller today at 920-994-4358. That's Miller's Sales and Service, 920-994-4358.
Buckle up, get ready, get set, and get your tickets now as the NASCAR Xfinity Series returns to Wisconsin's Road America in Elkhart Lake, July 27th through the 29th. The smell of fresh rubber and food will fill the air for this weekend, along with the Porsche Carrera Cup for even more racing fun. An amazing, affordable weekend of family fun with camping, food, and more. Kids 16 and under get in free with paid adult. Come for the experience, stay for the race. Get your tickets today at roadamerica.com. Your national park of speed.
The summer heat is on, and PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
The NASCAR Xfinity Series heads to Sonoma.
To the start-finish line. The green flag is out. They go door-to-door through turn 1.
The DoorDash 250.
He'll look once again to the outside in turn number 7. They go around the roundabout.
Oh, we got a car off track. He's gone off track here at 2A and hit the tire barrier.
Great three-way battle now as they head up the hill to turn 2.
The DoorDash 250. Saturday, June 10th at 6:30
on the Big 920 and your iHeartRadio app.
LTN Hour presents Dirt on the Dirt with Brian Schmidt.
As the summer heat is upon us here, we get to a full week of dirt track racing across the state of Wisconsin and the country. Will start Tuesday, Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. The IMCA Modifieds, Brandon Schmidt continued his white-hot season, picking up yet another feature win there, and in the stock cars was Tim Warner. Wednesday in Union, Kentucky, the Florence Speedway, the Castrol Flow Racing Night in America. Another $23,000 on the line for the super late models on a Wednesday night, and Ricky Thornton Jr. picked up the win there. Castro now takes the summer off. You won't see them back in action again until after the World 100 in September, as there's lots of other racing going on across the country. Granite City, Illinois, Tri-City Speedway, the High Limit Sprint Car Series. Kyle Larson, I think he's won 2 of those now, the 4 or 5 they've run, so he's starting to get hot right now in his sprint car. Thursday night, Farmer City, Illinois, the World of Outlaw Case Construction Late Models, $10,000 to win there, and Bobby Pierce defended the home turf, picking up the win in that one. Friday night up at Seymour, the Outagamie County Speedway, in the IMCA Modifieds, it was Johnny Whitman, and the IMCA Stock Cars was Kyle Frederick. Chilton Gravity Park Speedway, in the Modifieds, it was Matt Klentz. Stock Cars was Caden Lemieux, and the Grand Nationals was Dustin Weiss. Over in Darlington, Wisconsin, the Lafayette County Speedway, Brandon Schmidt. I said he was white hot. He definitely is. He picked up the feature win over there on Friday night. In the limited late models, it was Jason Robbins. Menominee, Wisconsin, the Red Cedar Speedway. For the Wissota late models, Ashley Anderson was your winner, and the Wissota Modifieds was Jake Hartung. Over in Beaver Dam at the Dodge County Speedway half mile, the All-Star Circuit of Champions were there for the inaugural Gib Weiser Classic. They had a massive crowd there for this event, 8,000 to win for the All-Star Circuit of Champions, and Corey Eliason laid a whooping on him. One time he had a little bit of a challenge there with from Brent Marks, but took care of it otherwise and went on to win the $8,000 in the MSA 360 Sprints. Alex Pekorski picked up his first ever feature win in a 360. He is the Paul Pekorski, who ran Modifieds at Plymouth for many years. That is his son, so congratulations to him on his first ever feature win. Grand Forks, North Dakota, the River City Raceway for the World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars. David Gravel was your winner. Granite City, Illinois, Friday night for the World of Outlaw Case Construction Late Models, $12,000 to win. Kyle Bronson held off his good friend Brian Shirley in a thriller to pick up the win there. And out in Mineral Wells, West Virginia, the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, $10,000 to win. Ricky Thornton Jr., talk about hot drivers. Here's another one. If he wouldn't have been DQ'd last week, Saturday in the Show Me, he'd be on a hell of a run right now. He picked up the win there. Last night, the final night at West Virginia Motor Speedway for the Lucas Oil Series was rained out. Francis Crick, 141 Speedway. In the Modifieds, Jeff Schmull picked up the win. The stock cars was Nick Strobe, and the Grand Nationals was Dan Schumacher. Shawano last night in the late models, Ron Berna picked up his second win of the year. The IMCA Modifieds was Marcus Yaris, and the IMCA stock cars was Jared Seifert. New Richmond, Wisconsin, up at Cedar Lake Speedway, Pat Dorr got the win in the late models. The limited late models went to Lucas Peterson, Darrell Nelson in the mods. Ashland in the Modifieds, Jeff Spacek. Rice Lake in the Modifieds, Mark Hansen. Plymouth last night, the All-Star Circuit of Champions, Race Routine Foundation, $26,000 to win for the All-Star Circuit of Champions, and another huge crowd, great turnout of people. I was there last night, just a great environment. Enrico Abreu, a crowd favorite for everybody, led every lap and picked up the win last night. Yes, and he was a happy little guy, and they even opened up his T-shirt stand after the races to sell some more stuff. So it was cool to see him win that. He also picked up an award from the Race Routine Foundation. They raise a lot of money for awareness, drug overdose awareness. Pretty good operation they got going on there, and the people from the All-Star Circuit of Champions were just happy to be there and excited about the crowd. So it was a good night all the way around. In the MSA 360 Sprints, Brandon McMullen got the win. Knoxville, Iowa last night, the USAC non-wing sprints, Jake Swanson was your winner, and the 410 wing sprints went to Brian Brown. Ogilvie, Minnesota, the World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series, Carson Macedo got the win. And finally in Paducah, Kentucky, for the World of Outlaw Case Construction Late Models, Brian Shirley avenged his defeat from the night before and picked up the win there last night in the $12,000. So that is everything we have for this week.
And in the world of asphalt, and thanks to Paul Reichert for the help, Monday they had the Dick Trickle 99 on Memorial Day at Golden Sands. John Beal won that one. The Midwest Truck Series ran up there, and Jeff Holtz won up at Golden Sands. Congratulations. Thursday at WIR in Kaukauna. In the super late models, it was Brent Strelka, and in the late models, J.J. Vanderloop was your winner. Friday night, they ran at Hawkeye Downs. It was the Big 8 late models, and it was called the Clash at the Downs. What is that? 9. Can you believe it? 9 already? Zach Riddle was your winner. And at Toma, they ran the late model Triple Crown Series. Alan Borntrigger won that one. And at Madison, we just heard from Johnny Sauter about that one. It was the Capital 100 in the Alive for 5 series. They had twin 50 late models for the super late models, and Luke Fenhaus won both of them. And Dan, you were there to run the camera for that thing, and I was able to watch it. And a nice job. And Fenhaus, those were his first wins at Madison. I didn't even realize that.
You know, I believe in thinking about that. Yeah, because he finished second to Bickle that time a couple of years ago.
Yep.
I don't think it's the best finish up to that, but we had him pretty much covered once he got out front on both those events. I mean, you know, Johnny Daniel just kept him honest. Dalton Zier kept him honest for a while. I think Gabe Summers was up there, and Jeff Storm had a pretty good...
Jeff Storm, man, that was the one that got everybody all worked up. I thought he was going to maybe hold him off, but cautions killed him.
Leftovers. Or the DMV.
Number 97.
Or house cleaning. Or
Chumba Casino always brings the fun. Play over 100 different games online for free from anywhere. You could redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. Live the Chumba life. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
So, all right. Then last night, right here at Dells Raceway Park, the super late models ran. Billy Moan of Minnesota held off Max Kaler of Illinois to win the race up here at the Dells Raceway Park. At Jefferson, Jesus, Jason Erickson going to win the season? He's 4 for 4 now in the late models. Man, that's awesome.
Well, he kind of got issues in tech.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it was something with an engine offset. It was 2.5 inches back instead of 2 inches back or something like, or it was 2 inches back, should have been 2.5. Something like that. But, they ended up, the win went to Ryan Wire, got his first win.
Aha. Didn't say that in my notes. At La Crosse, in the NASCAR late models, they had twin features. Adam Degenhart won one of them. Jacob Gady out of Minnesota won the other one. At Marshfield, they ran the super lates. Mark Eswine was your winner. The Arca Menards West Series ran at Portland. Landon Lewis was your winner. William Swalich was there, finished 4th. And Parker Retzloff of Rhinelander was there and finished 5th. The Cars Tour ran at Langley Speedway in Hampton, Virginia. Connor Hall was there. Carson Quapple finished 4th. Last Sunday night at the Slinger Super Speedway, man, oh man, for one, I got the word that Ed passed away while I was announcing. What unbelievable situation, as I tried to express. I was sitting in the same seat when I found out I became a grandfather for the first time. My son Matt was born 27 years ago, and here I'm sitting in the same seat when I find out my friend and co-host on this program, Ed Kaluka, passes away. Life and death from the same seat. And a couple of old-timers. How about this? Conrad Morgan set fast time. Conrad was 75 years old yesterday, so technically he was only 74 years old when he set fast time. And 54-year-old Brad Miller won the feature last week over Luke Fenhaus, who gets up and in front of God and everybody says he was schooled by the, quote, old man. Brad Miller, it's hard to imagine him as an old man, but he has been doing this for some time.
I was thinking that when he was winning all those championships, like in the early 90s and that, and those 3 in a row and stuff, and he was up and coming, I'm like, I thought about that when I heard that. I'm like, man, way back when I never thought.
Years ago.
It's been a while. When was the last time he won a super late race also? Yeah, I mean, he won that truck race there last year, but boy, I think it's been a while since.
When I interviewed him, he told me that he told the crowd that his wife had told him she had never seen him win at Slinger. Oh, that's something that'll motivate you. And he went out and he did it for her, naturally.
They called him, he was Kid Miller back all the time when he came up there. Now he's the old man.
Jesse Bernhagen won his second straight and ran both of the pro late model races last week at Slinger. It will be the Uptown Pro Late Models taking center stage tonight at Slinger Speedway. You will be able to go up to the perfect weather racetrack and watch it, or check it out on racingamerica.tv. We're going to sneak away for a break and be back with some NASCAR news.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship-winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company, in the heart of Wisconsin, is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at WagnerAutomotive.com.
Buckle up, get ready, get set, and get your tickets now as the NASCAR Xfinity Series returns to Wisconsin's Road America in Elkhart Lake, July 27th through the 29th. The smell of fresh rubber and food will fill the air for this weekend, along with the Porsche Carrera Cup for even more racing fun. An amazing, affordable weekend of family fun with camping, food, and more. Kids 16 and under get in free with paid adult. Come for the experience, stay for the race. Get your tickets today at roadamerica.com. Your national park of speed.
The NASCAR Cup Series.
Off turn 4, green flag goes in the air.
Back at Worldwide Technology Raceway for another year.
Trouble, turn 4, Stenhouse gets clipped by Eric Jones.
Of racing in the shadows of the Gateway Arch.
Take the check to the bank, $1 million. Kyle Larson has won.
It's the Enjoy Illinois 300 presented by TicketSmarter.
Sunday coverage starts at 1:30 on the Big 920 and your iHeartRadio app.
And you just heard it, the coverage at 1:30 today. The green flag is at 2:42. It's going to be televised on FS1. Of course, not just here on the Big 920, but you can also get it on the iHeartRadio app anywhere you go. The Enjoy Illinois 300. I think they do that on purpose because it's naturally within sight of the Gateway Arch at St. Louis. So, naturally it's about Illinois, Illinois. Crazy week. They took the 14 car, Chase Briscoe's car, to post-race inspection, and they found counterfeit NACA ducts that go. It's an airflow, as you know. I wish Ed could explain it better than me, but it sends air to certain places to keep things cooled down. It was a counterfeit part. It was not provided by the single source provider. Get this, 120 driver points, 25 playoff points. The crew chief was suspended for 6 races. Other fines. John Klausmeyer is the crew chief that is now out, so they bring back an old name for that 14 car, Booger. They call him Mike Boogerewitz. I think that's how you pronounce it. He was a crew chief when Clint Boyer drove that car, that 14 car, but he is now going to take over back in his old job again. Man, what a tough... they are really trying to make it important not to mess with those single source provided parts, aren't they, boys?
Yeah, they are. And I wish there'd be more information on this as to what was the why behind it. Was there a reason why they didn't put the single source parts on there? Did they know that it wasn't their part that was on there? Because there's fishy stuff going on all the time with this about these providers not having the parts available and this, that, and the other thing. So, more of the why would be nice. I don't know if that's ever going to come out, but it sure would be nice to know, what was all going on there. Was there a competitive advantage because of it or not? We don't know any of that stuff. So it's kind of hard to create an opinion on what happened here when you really don't have the full story.
Yeah. You're not really going to know. It probably, unless you really get into it. These cars, when we put them together, it's like building a model. They're all pieces. They all go together. Everybody have the same pieces, and you put them on. You can't make your own. And this is under where the engine sits, is that underwing section there, and there is a NACA duct, like an opening in there, and that's where the problem was. And now there was some talk that it could have been some, better airflow into the car, maybe some downforce or whatever. I don't know exactly what that all involves, but they thought they might have gotten an advantage there. However, the race they ran it in, they really didn't run very good at all. So if it was, it didn't give them in that race at all. It was a terrible result they had. But they caught it at the R&D center when they pull it all together, and that's the biggest no-no in the world is don't make your own parts. And they're going to this car. Guys we talked in the garage were thinking the same thing. Well, people are just going to make their own parts and put it on here. Well, you can't, and this is why it's such a huge penalty.
Yeah, no kidding. Brian, the headaches continue in Chicago. For one, they have already started constructing grandstands for the event, which is now only a month away, less than a month away. And so it's already started to disrupt traffic flow in the area of where the race is going to be downtown. There is an alderman, one of the mayor's new henchmen, that he's demanding a meeting between their common council and NASCAR to talk about all this. Isn't all this done and over with, and we don't really have to go back and renegotiate anything?
Yeah, a meeting isn't going to do any good now. I mean, it's too late in the game for that. Now, maybe after the event, obviously then you're going to want to have a meeting and figure out if this was a feasible thing. But, yeah, this week, Junior and a bunch of the people were supposed to be out there to have a big, rollout of this event and anything, and there's been little to no publicity from that. So I don't know what's going on down there. I know that the paving is going on. They started a couple of the streets around there, but we still don't have a detailed description of like where the garage area is going to be and how it's going to work. So, this is going to be an interesting, 4 weeks leading up to this race to see how it goes.
Brian, this meeting is all about just political clout. That's all they want to get.
It is.
There, and they want to yell at them and rattle their swords and get some publicity off of that.
Right. NASCAR is not going to fight.
A 3-year contract, right? But they're going to revisit everything after one for sure. So we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Only other news we had, FedEx is very close to renewing. They're one of the big major sponsors that's left and have stuck with Joe Gibbs Racing over the years, and they're going to renew for even longer. So we're not going to get rid of Denny Hamlin in the near future. They love him. This has been a very strange time for us, and we're glad that you all tuned in to listen to the Edless program that it is. Ed would have just loved to have talked about those NACA ducks, I can guarantee you. And what we want you to remember is that real race cars have, even if they do climb in through the windows. Let's Talk NASCAR is produced and directed by Dangerous Dan Margetta. Our engineer and website coordinator is Matt Losi Sr. For all of us, thanks for tuning in, and Ed would love this. God bless Ed Kluka. See you next week.
This program has come to you live from multiple locations via Skype. Any and all comments expressed on this show do not necessarily express the opinions of this station, its employees, or advertisers. Your comments are always welcome at mail@ltnradionetwork.com. Find us at facebook.com/LTN Radio Network. And thank you for your support since 1985. Tune in again next Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time for the LTN Hour on the LTN Radio Network.
Leftovers or the DMV
number 97
or house cleaning or Chumba Casino always brings the fun. Play over 100 different games online for free from anywhere. You could redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. Live the Chumba life. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.